My first guest is the man who will face Donald Trump in November, former Vice President Joe Biden. Former Vice President Biden, thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, and congratulations. Congratulations. This is a big day.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
sir.
for having me on.
I really appreciate it. No, we're very glad to have you on. I have so many questions for you. But the first one I have to ask you, you came into office with President Obama at the heels of a massive recession. On the heels of a very unpopular war that ripped this country apart and separated us from some of our allies. That was a tough entrance for the Barack Obama and Joe Biden administration. If you are elected, sir, you will face what I would argue is even a worse situation. We have right now paramilitary or federal troops on the streets of American cities. We have people crying out for police reform. And we have this pandemic that is catastrophic. So many people have died. You've talked a lot about it and about the tragedies. I want to let you listen to Donald Trump this weekend, talking about that very pandemic and talking about other countries' response to it, and let you respond.
No country has ever done what we've done in terms of testing. We are the envy of the world. You look at other countries, they don't even do tests. I said it's going to disappear. I'll say it again.
But
it's going to disappear.
Does that discredit
And I'll be right. I don't think so.
How do you respond to that?
I think he's right. No country has ever done what we've done. Walk away. There is no leadership here. He actually has zero. He's surrendered. He talked about, you remember early on, this is going to go away in a few days. This is going to be gone tomorrow. You're going to wake up and be gone. He talked about how we were going to be in a position where we were going to be able to lead the world, et cetera. And he was going to be a wartime president fighting this virus. Well, he raised the white flag. He has no idea what to do. He's zero. It's only one thing he has in mind. How does he win re-election? And it doesn't matter how many people get COVID and or die from COVID, because he fears that if the economy is strapped as badly as it is today, that in fact he is going to be in trouble. That's what this is all about. I've never seen a president who has been so self-serving in the conduct of the office.
And, one of the ways I think he believes he's going to get reelected is by going back to the playbook that he used before to try to go after Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, which was passed, of course, during the administration with yourself and President Obama, and to go after immigrants again. I want to let you listen to what he thinks that the Supreme Court decisions recently have given him the license to do on those two issues.
We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks, a full and complete health care plan that the Supreme Court decision on DACA gave me the right to do. So we're going to sign an immigration plan, a health care plan, and various other plans.
What do you make of a president of the United States who's threatening again to take health care away from 20, 30 million people as his campaign strategy, and again going back to the idea of kicking out immigrants?
Look, this guy has no sense of empathy or concern for people. People are dying. Families are bereft. People are so worried about being able to see their grandmoms and grandpops for fear that they may get the COVID. I don't understand it. He has absolutely zero sense of empathy. Have you ever heard a word him talking about how badly he feels about the losses, about the emptiness? Those folks who've lost somebody feel like they've been dragged into a dark, deep hole in the middle of their chest. They don't know what to do. They're scared to death. And what's the president do? He talks about taking away health insurance completely. And he says he's going to replace it with what? He's been talking about that forever. Zero. It is absolutely, I quite frankly don't get it. And I don't understand how he thinks it appeals to the American people. Overwhelming the American people want us to keep Obamacare and improve on it, not get rid of it in the middle of a pandemic with hundreds of thousands of people ill and dying, and he wants to take away health insurance? My Lord.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.